Hi everyone, welcome to Nubere. I'm Monique and today I'm answering a question I've seen around a fair bit recently. That question is, how do we undo a split ring? So I was thinking about this and I thought, well, it's a ring, but then I started having a play and I reckon I can see where the confusion is. So today's video is a combination of undoing true rings and split rings because they're the same but different. Let's have a play. Before we jump into undoing anything, I want to look at how we make true rings and split rings. Remember I said they're both rings. I had to give the question some thought to understand where the confusion was. For a true ring, we have one shuttle, one loom, and one set of stitches. A split ring has two shuttles, one loom, and two sets of stitches. As I started showing you just before, our true ring has our loom, one set of stitches all off shuttle 1. Our split ring has our loom and two sets of stitches. The first set is off our loom thread from shuttle 1. The second set is on shuttle 2. The key to opening both of these rings is the loom thread. So to undo our ring, we need to start working from the top side, regardless of whether we're opening a true ring or a split ring, because this is the side where we control our loom from. Now I'm going to undo my split ring because there's an extra step for it at the end. Other than that, the steps I'm about to show you are exactly the same for both rings. So true ring or split ring, if we look at our stitches, we have a double stitch on the left side here, the bare thread, which is our picot, and a double stitch on the right side. We want to separate these two stitches right in the middle. Now I haven't closed this ring very tightly because I want to pry it apart with my nails. Firstly, so I can show you where we're going, but secondly, I want to show you our core thread in here. Our loom is right here, and that is what we're after. There's our two stitches either side, and we want to come right in the middle between those two stitches. So I'm going to close my ring up as if I was really tatting. When I do that, I won't be able to pry the stitches apart with my nail. So we get a crochet hook, and we're going down through the picot. Bring the tip of the hook up through the center of the ring so that the center of the two double stitches that I showed you just before straddle the shaft of the hook. So you can see there's one stitch, and that is the middle where we want our hook to come up. So use the pointer finger of your right hand, hold the top of the stitches against the shaft of the hook. Use your thumb to splice through the middle of the two double stitches and slide the stitches down. So just turn this over so you can see, get those tails out of the way. This is the top of our ring. We have the picot on the bottom and our core thread on the top. Holding the core thread against the hook with my pointer finger, and I'm going to move my finger in a minute because otherwise you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. So hold that core thread, and then you want to pinch the stitches together with that hook through the middle. So I've got the top stitches on one side of the hook and the bottom stitches underneath, pinching them together. I can pull that thread up. Sometimes it can be a little tight. Coming back down the base of the ring, we're going to use our nails to start opening the ring. So I have the bottom half of my ring is green, and the top half is blue. I want to split that right through the middle. So I use my thumbnail to get in there, and I'm supporting the stitches. You can see I'm holding them flat against the pad of my fingers. I'm supporting them on both sides as I start to pull them apart. So supporting them like this helps to prevent the stitch flipping on you. If it flips, you're going to get a knot and you won't be able to open your ring. When we had our crochet hook up here, we pulled the core thread out through the picot. So now that we've opened that ring and we're pulling down at the base, that thread is going to get pulled in. That's my core thread being pulled in, so that will close back up at the top. You can support the rest of those stitches. Continue opening up my loom. From here we can open it a little more and start undoing the stitches on the top of our ring. Now this first stitch may have become quite tight because we've just been pulling against it. So if you can't get it with the pick on your shuttle, you can get a needle and just try, without splitting the ply, just try to pry open that first stitch. And then just go through stitch by stitch and back it out. This is where a true ring differs slightly from a split ring. If you're undoing a true ring, you simply keep pulling the stitches out until you've finished all the way around. If you're undoing a split ring, we've taken out the top side stitches which we worked with shuttle 1. I think this is where people become confused. We need to swap shuttles to take out the underside. So coming over to shuttle 2, you can pry that stitch out from the underside, but you can see I struggle to do that. It's just feels a bit unnatural for me. So you might find it a little challenging. If you do, remove the loom from your hand, turn it over and place the loom back on your hand. So you've now got shuttle 2 at the top, shuttle 1 underneath, and that just makes it a little easier for me anyway to get in there and undo those stitches. And we back them out as we were before until we get to the end. Well, that's all cool and dandy, but what if we have a ring that doesn't have picots? We get a needle and we slide that between the stitches. So we're going down in here. A bit like what we did before. And we're going to give that a bit of a wriggle. We're trying to find our core thread, but we're also trying to do it without splitting our ply. Once we've got a bit of a start, you can see the core thread in there. I like to swap my needle for a crochet hook, just because it gives me a bit more real estate to hold on to, and the shaft of the hook is a lot stronger than the needle. So I've got a little bit more oomph to pull that core thread up. Again, we're doing exactly what we did before, to the base of the ring. Use your nails to pry that open. Get your loom started. And from here, we do what we did before. Start taking our stitches out.
Like I said, same but different. I hope that's helped you guys. See you next time.